Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 67 of the Seezus Show. This is the Christmas edition / end of the year wrap up. I'm very excited to reach another milestone yet again. It's been a great year, and I'm proud of what I've accomplished, and I'm proud, for all the people that have, happened to support me as well too. So just to rehash with you guys on episode 66 with Trey, David Stern was being hospitalized. Kawhi returned to the North. Deion Waiters got suspended yet again. Joel Embiid got called out by the OGs. Kevin Love's possible. We had a discussion with Kevin Love's possible trade destinations and much, much more. It was a good topic of conversation. So without further ado, I just want to introduce my guest, a returner, Manny Fresh, aka Black Zach Morris. So, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for my boy Manny.
Yes, sir, man. Great to be back, Steve. It's always a pleasure, man.
I definitely want to get you back on. I just like to, pick your brain and hear your take on a lot of things. So you ready? You ready for the topics?
Let's get to it, man.
All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is the doubleheader that was this past Thursday on TNT, 8 o'clock. Bucks played against the Los Angeles Lakers.
Were some hot games, bro.
Those were some very, very hot games. I was excited. There wasn't no Thursday night football, no interruption. This is a glimpse of what we're going to see after the NFL season is over with.
Can you say, outside of record, those are, the top 4 favorites to win the finals?
Yeah. Because Philly kind of fell off the radar.
I've been said it wasn't Philly. That's just me personally. I've been said it wasn't Philly.
Yeah, bro. I was like, all right, it's over with.
You think it's time to blow it up?
Not yet. We'll see if they don't get to the finals. You might have to get rid of one of them.
I think you just need a point guard, and Ben needs to play his natural position.
Yeah.
Dang, we going off topic.
Going off topic. Yeah, let's go. I know you're excited. What I'm saying. Ahead. So it's very good. But yeah, the Bucks won 111-104. There was no Bledsoe on, the Bucks end. There was no Kyle Kuzma on the Lakers end. And, the Bucks, had a large lead. They had a lead high of 21 points for the Bucks. Giannis played like Giannis, scored 34 points, had 11 rebounds, 7 assists, and what stood out the most was that he made 5 threes. He was 5 of 8 from the three-point line. AD did what he had to do. Coming off an ankle injury, only played 43 minutes. Well, not only. He played 43 minutes coming off an ankle injury, scored 36 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. LeBron added 21 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, 4 turnovers. So there's a couple of reasons why I think the Lakers lost. One was their bench productivity. Obviously, Kyle Kuzma is their quote-unquote sixth man. He only scored – he wasn't there, so the Lakers only scored 4 points off the bench as opposed to the Bucks, who scored 34 bench points. Turnovers was a big thing as well, too. Lakers had 19 turnovers, and, the Bucks had 14 steals from them. It's kind of rare when a team has 14 steals with you as well, too. And just the Lakers' inability to – guard the three-point line as well, kind of messed them up as well, too. They allowed 16 threes, which isn't always a good thing. Just looking at Giannis, man, we got the highlights pulled up right now. It's literally like I purchased 2K, what I'm saying? I go and create a player.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm only 6'4", so I'll probably do 6'4", shooting guard or whatever. But in 2K, it's like with Giannis, you're making a 6'11" player who's like 240 pounds.
He might beat your my play that you try to make up.
He might beat your my play that you're trying to make up. Point forward who can play the 1 through 5. He creates for others. He slashes at will. He's OD athletic. He plays on the ball defense. He plays the passing lanes. He protects the rim. He can post up. He can move without the ball, and he always plays at 110%. So it's kind of crazy that the Bucks disrespected his jump shot. I would have done the same thing as well, too.
See, that's all you can do, bro. I'm looking at these highlights right now. AD can't even really check him right now.
Yeah.
He's a mismatch problem for everybody. And when he's hitting the tray like that, there's really absolutely nothing you can do. He's uncheckable.
Yeah. I have to agree.
He's out with the crown now. Go ahead, Giannis.
Yeah, man. So it's kind of disrespected that they didn't really guard his shot, and he ended up making 5 threes and making them pay.
I'm not mad at that. If I'm a coach and I'm scouting, that's the best option I have.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna close out OD heavy. He's just gonna rip by me and just dunk on my help side.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen the whole game. So that was the best option.
Yeah.
Going into the next game, if I was a coach seeing those highlights, and we're going into the next game, I'm like, yo, we're gonna try it again. We're gonna see how many threes he can hit.
Yeah.
I think that's the best option you have when you guarding a dude like Giannis for real.
For real, for real. And it's crazy because, like, they put Rondo on him, they put AD on him, they put Bron on him, they put Danny Green on him.
Put everybody on him.
They put everybody
Put everybody on him.
And they were so focused and keyed in on Giannis that there was always a shooter right there ready to shoot the ball.
Yep.
So it was kind of crazy. So what stood out to me the most was when he hit that fifth three and he went back to his huddle and he was going like this, he was going like that. He said, crown me, I'm the king.
Hot.
And it's kind of dope too because he's from Greece, Athens, king crown. It's kind of dope passing the torch. But, you know, with his performance that he had, do you think it's an official passing the torch, or you think we have to see much more from him?
We have to see playoff success. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen that from Giannis quite yet. We just need a little bit more playoff success. I mean, in terms of just natural playmaking ability and just playing ability, we know he has the talent to be the best player in the league.
Yeah.
And a top 5 player to ever play the game. Is just, at this point, it's all about winning. The tools, everything else is there. At this point, it's all about winning. And honestly, they're my favorites to go to the finals. Mm-hmm. I don't see really anybody else in the East. I know a couple people rumored, they said they were feeling like the Sixers might have a chance, but I don't really see it right now.
Yeah, I have to agree with that too. He's definitely making this case for MVP because last week I was with Trey and I had my top 5. I actually had him at number 2, and I had the Lakers at number 1 because of year 17. Oh, I had LeBron number 1 because of year 17 with Bron and the fact that they had the number 1 record in the overall NBA. And, you know, statement games like this definitely, you know, change your whole perspectives on a lot of things too. So the fact that he had, I mean, everyone, you say Chris Middleton's an all-star, but it's like, not really.
That's like that one year the Hawks had like 4 all-stars.
Oh,
Kyle Korver, Jeff
Teague.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Not a real all-star.
And JoJo, yeah. And Al Horford. But yeah, the fact that he's kind of really doing this by himself, he just has that mindset. It's us against the world. I don't contact anyone in the offseason. I just do me. Really speaks high volume. And what's scary now is just like his 3-point shot. Obviously, Kyle Korver's on his team too. They've been saying that Kyle Korver's been, you know, helping them putting the extra time in as well too to get it going.
That's
so
tough.
If he can at least be respected on the 3-point line, it's just going to open up much more for the Bucks themselves. And like you said, I definitely think right now they're the favorites.
It's not fair, bro.
I definitely think right now they're the favorites, and it's kind of crazy. They're trying to compare his stats to Shaq. Right now, he's averaging 31 points. 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and shooting 57% from the field.
That's ridiculous.
Which is OD.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So that's that. But at the end of the day, it's all about matchups. Like if you look when you see the end of these stats, like end of the game, LeBron and AD like geeking talking to Eric Bledsoe because Eric Bledsoe didn't play. Obviously, they all have a connection with Rich Paul as their agent. So I'm like, yo, did y'all take this game serious? like what's going on? But at the same time, it's like, how often do you expect a guy like George Hill to score 20 points off the bench?
I mean, he can do that quite often. I mean, that's what makes the Bucks a unique team. Like we think it's just Giannis sometimes, but like everyone else, like they play their role to a T.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what leads to games like this where they get 19 turnovers.
Yeah.
And they just straight up smack their bench 34 to 4?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what makes them a good team, and that's what makes them the final favorites. And I think AD and LeBron were laughing like that because they know it's a possibility in the offseason where if Giannis is not happy, he has the opportunity to move. And any other team he moves to in the league, they're going to have a chance to go to the finals.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I'm trying to think. There might be only 2 or 3 teams where Giannis just goes to right now, and they don't help him go to the finals. There might be 2.
And I said this a couple episodes ago. I was like, don't be surprised if he's not happy and goes to
Golden
find a
State
way to get him. It's a wrap, bro.
Mind you, like people like are just talking down on Golden State's name, but like I think Dwayne Wade tweeted about it. Yet, like I think it was like yesterday, this weekend. He was just like, "Yo, y'all should be worried. They're resting right now."
Yeah.
So, yeah, wherever Giannis goes, that would be scary. But I guess it just depends on his playoff success this year.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Like, I obviously like LeBron James is one of my most favorite players of all time, like hands down. But it's kind of crazy, like LeBron always kind of gets what he wants with his roster, and yet whenever they lose, they say he needs help. So do you think the Lakers need to touch up their roster? Granted, Kuzma's injured, and that's basically their sixth man, and that's their bench. But do you think they need like another playmaker or like a 3-and-D player? Because if they meet up in the finals, obviously AD and Bron going to be balling out. But like, who's going to guard Giannis?
I mean, honestly, there's no one really that's a good check for Giannis, but Giannis.
Yeah. Kawhi.
Yeah, Kawhi's the closest, you know what I'm saying? But there's no really a good check for him. I guess you really just have to wait till Kuzma comes back. Honestly, with the Lakers roster, there's nothing you could really add to it that would just put them over the top right now. I can't really picture a play they can pick up right away that would just help them get that much further. Honestly, I think they're already a finals contender team.
Yeah.
I think we talked about in the beginning of the episode right now that, you know what I'm saying, between the Bucks, Clippers, Lakers, and Rockets, like those are the four favorites to win it, to be honest. So I don't think they could really touch it up any more than they already do. They just got to perfect what they already have.
Look at them geeking. You missed it. Geeking. Look at that joke. Hold up real quick. I think this is like last bucket he made. And then afterwards, hold up real quick. Are they going to show it? All right here.
Okay.
Geeking.
Nah, they already know what time it is.
What it is. But it's so early. It's all about X's and O's, you know what I'm saying?
But you know they're recruiting already, bro. You know how they operate.
I mean, do they have the cap space? Do they have the cap space to get Giannis? No. Unless AD leave.
The new NBA, bro,
and
like the
bring
salaries
Giannis.
and everything, bro, everything's going up every year, but they'll find a way to pay him.
They will find a way.
They will definitely find a way.
I think his best shot, though, is either staying or going to
Golden State
as well, too. So LeBron and load management. So I want to bring up this topic here to you right now.
I saw that interview.
If I can open up this link real quick. Boom. There we go. So basically what they're trying to say is tonight, LeBron James is likely to miss his first game of the season when the Lakers host the Denver Nuggets. This Sunday, James was listed as doubtful with a thoracic muscle strain around the rib cage.
I'm using them big words, right? Like,
right?
Is he sore? Like, just say he's sore. Like,
yeah, we don't know. So James played in all 29 games this season for the Lakers, averaging 25.8 points, 10.6 assists, 7.5 rebounds, but he did not practice on Saturday with the injury. Head coach Frank Vogel said James sustained the injury against the Indiana Pacers this past Tuesday and played through it on Thursday against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Lakers lost both games, their first back-to-back losses this season. And it's kind of crazy how the biggest thing this, past couple weeks / this whole season was this whole, issue with load management. And basically AE saying if I'm hurt, then I'm hurt. But if I'm good to go, then I'm gonna play. Then LeBron just came out last week saying essentially like, my goal is to play 82 games. I would be cheating the fans and I'll be doing a disservice if I didn't play. Unless it's like something drastic, then I'm not gonna play. And it's kind of crazy because it is year 17 for him. He is about to be 35 years old in a couple days. And, I'm just worried that his body might break down like Kobe because if you look at Kobe's last prime year or so, he was about 34, 35 years old as well, too, in Mike D'Antoni's system. That's when he had Dwight, Steve Nash, and all them cats as well, too. He played great, and then out of nowhere, he just tore his Achilles, and then the rest is history. So I kind of don't want that to repeat itself again. But do you think with something like this that's happening, you think he should load manage essentially?
I mean, I saw the interview with Bron. Like I said, I think he's spot on. If he's healthy, why not play? And you gotta understand the type of guy Bron is. Like, he puts like, I read the articles like $1.5 million into his body.
Yeah.
Like, and you can tell even when he plays, like he's really pacing himself this regular season.
Yeah.
He's not taking hard hits. He's never landing hard. Like, he's real methodical in everything he does. Like, and like I said, I think he's spot on. If he's healthy, he should keep playing because he knows what he's doing. And at the end of the day, like, we say father time, but when we watch these games, how old does he really look?
Like he's 25.
Exactly. He be looking, moving, bro, like he's, you know what I'm saying? Like he's a fresh 21. Like he's body-wise, I think he's still prime. Like, and like he said, as long as he's still healthy, he should keep playing.
I agree. Definitely. So we'll see, what he ends up doing. I think he should load manage. It's not too bad. And obviously he's playing like he's 25 years old, but at the end of the day, he got the most miles on his body right now, besides like Vince Carter or whatnot.
Relax. The most miles. What about Dudley? Dudley's on his team. Don't do that.
Man, shout out to Jared Dudley. That's all I'm going to say. Shout out to Jared Dudley, yo. Next topic. The Rockets versus Clippers, which was the 10:30 game right after the Lakers-Bucks game. Rockets ended up winning 117 to 112. I think the Clippers were up as much as 17 to 19 points. And, Westbrook wooed his team. He ended up with 40 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Harden had 28 points,
Russ.
10 assists as well, too. So,
hey, and to all my Russ haters real quick, stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
All that trash, all that venom y'all spitting about Russ, stop it. He's a way better duo player for the Rockets compared to Chris Paul. I'm going to leave it on that note.
All right.
All right, one more time. Stop it.
You heard him here. Stop it. So they won 117 to 112. And the biggest takeaway I had from that was I think we should start taking them serious right now. Obviously, you said that early on. They're one of the 4 teams that I think are, finals bound. Obviously, it kind of just depends on how things fold out. But I think it's kind of good that James Harden realized early on I didn't really have it going, so why not, give it to Russ? And at the same time, Coach Doc's game plan was to double team Harden at all times and let everyone else eat. He just kind of underestimated how great Russell Westbrook is. And Russell Westbrook was kind of attacking at the will if you look at the highlights as well, too. And another thing I was kind of upset about was, for the most part, like, why wasn't Kawhi or PG, trying to slow down Russ? They really weren't guarding those two duos right there as well, too. I don't know if they were kind of just want to test out some things or saving it for later on next year going into the playoffs. I really don't know as well, too. But when you got Russ playing like this and Harden, not having to go for 40 every night, that's kind of ridiculous as well, too. And I was looking up a stat. Russell Westbrook's been killing it over the last 7 games. He's been averaging 29 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 50% from the field, which is crazy because he's historically 42 to 44% from the field. And the Rockets are 6-1 right now as well, too. So you're the Rockets fan.
Yes, sir.
1, how far do you think they can go?
All the way.
And 2, what was I about to say? Number 2 as well is, do you think this could potentially be a Western Conference Finals preview?
I mean, you ask me these questions and you know these answers. See, like, of course. Like, and the thing is, I know I say it every year, but you got to understand, like, we have run into the team that's won the finals, like, what is it, 3 or 4 out of the past 5 years?
Yeah.
We're losing to the team that wins the finals every time.
It's like running into Jordan in his prime, right?
I mean, essentially, we were running into a dynasty team who ended up taking care of business. Yeah. LeBron was only able to take care of them one time, you know what I'm saying? And I love Harden. Harden's not the caliber that LeBron is, but at the same time, he's a great player in his own right. Yeah. But the biggest difference is picking up Russ, man. Like, we paid Chris Paul too much, you know what I'm saying? And he was approaching, you know what I'm saying, those later years in his career. I don't think there was a lot more he can give us. And I caught that feeling when he sat down, what was it, 6 and 7?
6 and 7, 2 years ago.
When we needed him the most, you feel me? So, yeah. And Russ is giving you games like this, and the difference between Russ and Chris Paul is when James Harden is not performing at his peak level, they're best friends. He's going to be able to turn him up. Or to be like, yo, you're not going to do it? All right, I'll do it myself. And I know even if he has a muscle strain or anything like that, he's not going to sit out, not for a chance to get to the finals.
And like you said, they respect each other. Like, they were yin and yang growing up as well, too. And Russell, and it was kind of shocking when, I don't know if you saw that one part where Beverly got kicked out the game and James Harden.
I know exactly what play you're talking about.
They're going back and forth. So Russell Westbrook and Pat Bev were going back and forth, obviously with their history and whatnot. But James Harden put him to the side and kind of pushed him and said yo, stay locked in, stop with this dumb shit.
Yeah, it was when he was waving. Yeah, it was the game was over. You know what I'm saying? He was waving Pat Bev off, and then he got the tech, and then Harden just looked at him and was like, yo, pushed him like, yo, what are you doing? Yeah. But I'm saying they're boys like that. Only them could do that, and they would be cool. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where the connection works. Like, I think they're the nastiest duo as of right now.
Yeah, I was about to ask
As of right now.
As of right now.
As of
You
right
got
now.
LeBron and AD
LeBron
though,
and AD
too.
is very OC, but I'm saying if we had just evaluate these last 10 games,
You going with them?
for sure.
And what's crazy is Eric Gordon's not back yet.
He's not back yet.
That's another 17 points right there.
At least 17.
And any given night, he can get you 30.
Bro, this is the year, see. This is the year, see.
I haven't really done my research like that. Is Gerald Green going to come back or he's done for the season?
I think he's done.
Done.
I think he's
Did he
done.
break his leg or something?
It was something tibia, something bad. It was something bad in his leg, but I think he's done.
Last thing, do you like what you guys have now, or if you're Daryl Morey, would you try to get a player like Andre Iguodala?
We need more pieces. We need more pieces.
What position in particular? What do you guys need? You think
a wing perimeter defender that's 3-and-D. I wish we had Trevor Ariza
I
back,
was about to say that too.
but we're not gonna get him back. But we need someone like at Trevor Ariza's like caliber, if not higher.
Okay.
Like if we had Kuzma, that'd be flawless.
That would be tough.
But we're not gonna get him. But
I mean, we'll see. You guys always find a way to make some little sneaky ass move around.
give us Brandon Ingram. Give us Brandon Ingram.
That ain't happening, bro.
You can always hope, right?
Always hope. You can always hope as well. So I like that. So we'll see where to go. We'll monitor them throughout the season. But I think what's going to be most important is who gets that one seed. Obviously, Lakers have it now. Lakers have had the easiest schedule this whole season because of how the TV deal works. They have more so of their tougher games nationally
I
televised.
feel like I always see
as
the
well,
Lakers
too.
on TV.
Yeah. I mean, they got the most appeal.
Nah,
No
that's
Golden
facts.
State. Ain't nobody turn on the game to that.
Nah, no one's
That's
gonna
why
watch
we're
that.
taking a shot right now with ratings. But
Yeah.
Lakers have had the easiest schedule. And we'll see when their schedule gets a bit tougher. Are they going to slide? And are we going to see the Clippers? Are we going to see the Rockets get that number one seed? Because they're only about 4 or 5 games behind right now. So we'll see. And I think home court advantage is going to be vital for any of those teams as well, too. And honestly, like, I'll try to either get the 1 seed or the 4 seed.
Skip all the way to 4.
Skip all the way to 4 because let's say Houston, let's say the Rockets get the 1 seed. They don't have to worry about the 2 or 3 seed until the conference finals. If you're the 2 or 3 seed in the second round, you got to go up against each other.
That's true.
So, I mean, we'll just see how it goes. But, I mean, it's so early on. Now, what I love about this dynamic duo as opposed to Kawhi with load management, AD, always getting these knick-knack injuries, these are two of the most, like,
Durable players, man.
duos
They're going to
right there,
play.
too.
They're going to play all year.
Yeah.
Russ might sit out 10, 15 max. I don't got I said Russ. I don't got Harden sitting out more than like 5 games.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're the most durable duo in the league. I cannot speak today. You put me on the radio and I cannot speak no English. See,
You're good. Moving on from that as well, too, though. Just want to give major props to Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, KG, Bosh are all headlining the Hall of Fame 2020 class.
childhood heroes right there.
Those 4 combined for 13 NBA championships for Most Valuable Player awards, 5 Finals MVP awards, 59 All-Star appearances, and 40 All-NBA selections. And they're the leading names on the list of 50 people nominated by the North American Committee for Enshrinement next year. The finalists will be announced during All-Star Weekend in Chicago in February, with the inductees being unveiled during the Final Four in Atlanta in April. So in addition to that, other players nominated are Sean Marion, The Matrix, Michael Finley, Mark Eaton, and Buck Williams. Meanwhile, Chauncey Billups, Mark Jackson, Tim Hardaway, Richard Hamilton, Chris Webber, Ben Wallace, and Marcus Camby are among those on the ballot who have been nominated multiple times as well, too. That's a pretty fire class.
Yeah, it's a very fire class.
A little sad as well because if Chris Bosh had the blood clot, he'd still be playing right now.
Yeah,
still
it's crazy.
be that vital piece you need for a championship run as well, too. But
Sure.
damn, Kobe, KG, all them, like, that's rings on rings.
Like I said, those are childhood heroes right there.
Childhood heroes
Those are
right
dudes
there.
we really grew up with.
Yeah. Out of all them, obviously, you know, Kobe's Kobe, but I got to rock with my boy Timmy. I got to rock with Timmy. Spurs fan right there. He's I mean, it's Ginobili Joe right there, but I mean, I feel like, you know, we just been through a lot together as well, too.
He don't know
I
you,
just
see.
remember those historic runs against the Lakers, against the Mavericks, against the Phoenix Suns. He was just always there, never shied away from the moment. And, you know, got 5 banners and couldn't ask for more. Anything
True
you wanna
fan,
add to
bro.
it? True fan.
You sound like you were behind their bench the way you talking,
I
dog.
was, man. I remember, it was funny you got to do right on now. I remember I was in either the 6th or 7th grade, and I think it was the year we won the championship against the Pistons, and then the next year the Mavs beat us in 6 or 7 games in the playoffs, I think in the conference finals. I remember having my do-rag on, my glasses. I'm in my dad's room watching the game, and we forced it to overtime, and Dirk was just too much for us, and I literally was bawling tears, crying because we didn't win. Just the emotional attachment guys have that I had to that team, and what they've been able to do and be consistent on a daily basis, yearly basis throughout with Coach Pop leading the way. It was just beauty to see. Obviously, we're not where we at now. Got a lot of growing pains. I've been kind of spoiled,
Nah, I feel that. Nah, you used to just.
And we just
that's a whole lot of winning you've been used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything comes and goes. See.
Yeah. So I enjoyed the moment, and I already knew this was going to happen, especially when Kawhi rocked as well too. But I was happy I got to see the Big Three live. So it was great. Anything you want to add to the Hall of Fame nominations?
Just shout out to Kobe. It's been a love and hate relationship with him. As a young kid, I kind of didn't like Kobe. I thought he was arrogant, but at the same time, like as I got older, I understood the way he carried himself and why he carried himself that way, because he took pride in his work, and he didn't really feel like anybody else came above him and his work ethic, and that was just incredible to me. I just remember growing up every day, not every day, but every Sunday, just after church, just watching Kobe just cook somebody in the all whites.
Have you read his books?
I heard they're great. I heard they're on one.
Borrow that joint. I think my brother has it right now, but I gotta let you see that joint right now.
He said right now.
Right now, it's fire. Mama Mentality definitely.
I believe it, man.
Joint. Next thing I want to talk about is this one guy who was in the discussion for nominations for Hall of Fame is Kevin Garnett. Basically, Kevin Garnett is promoting. He has a new movie out. I can't remember the title of the movie, but he has a movie right now with what's his name?
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler. There's footage of Adam Sandler hooping. You saw that? I know you saw that, Sean.
Yeah, definitely did.
You think he nice?
No.
They weren't playing for real against
no,
fans.
Yeah. No chance.
No chance. But basically, he was on the Bill Simmons podcast, which you guys should check out, pretty fire as well too. And basically, like, make a long story short, KG claims that the Celtics broke LeBron James in the 2010 NBA Finals, forcing him to take his talents from Cleveland to South Beach that summer. According to KG, he said, "We didn't fear LeBron," says Garnett. Then he went on to say, "We broke LeBron, so you get your expletive out of here with that. You understand how he got to Cleveland, how he got to Miami, Bill. You remember that." And then he says, "Okay, so remember that. All right. Stop bringing it up." So they was talking expletive to him, the media, and the league knew that they had an agenda in which we wasn't a part of the agenda. And that's how they ended up winning the series. Yeah, I said it, man, listen, let me tell something to you. The C's, we didn't give a shit about LeBron. We didn't fear LeBron, and we didn't think he could beat all 5 of us. And that's how it felt. He was trying to consolidate because he didn't want that pressure on him. You understand. So what are your thoughts about KG trying to – I think it's more so of him trying to promote the movie itself too, but then at the same time, how old heads be. They'll never let things
He's always going
to
talk his trash, but he has to understand, like, he was getting whooped up on in Minnesota. That's why he went to Boston in the first place.
Because they get cold like that.
Yeah, because Tim was handing out that smoke every year, so he needs to remember that. Mm-hmm. But he's quick to talk trash, like he didn't team up with Paul Pierce and Ray Allen in their prime.
Facts. In their prime still.
So, yeah, that's just...
Two finals?
Yeah.
2 finals? Like 3 or 4 conferences.
Mind you, I think long term, if we think about that team and what they were supposed to be, they only won 1 ring?
Their first year.
They underachieved to me.
They did. But they did have injuries as well, too.
I mean, that's part of the game. The Warriors did as well.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, they built a dynasty and they low-key underachieved, but still a great team, still a Hall of Fame team. Mm-hmm. But that's just KG talking his trash.
Yeah.
He knows what it is.
Old heads being old heads, right?
That's all it is. That's all it is, bro.
Oh man! But imagine if they linked together sooner. That would be crazy.
That would be wild.
I think Kendrick Perkins got hurt 1 year, and then KG tore his meniscus.
And then Paul Pierce, even at the time, was in his later half of his prime.
Yeah. So
they were just blessed to have young Rondo on the team. That was a surprise, yeah.
Yeah, they were. They were as well too. So another thing I want to talk about is yesterday the Wizards went up against the 76ers. And basically, Isaiah Thomas got ejected.
I heard about that.
Just to paint the picture for you guys, there's 2 fans who were part of a confrontation with Washington Wizards guard Isaiah Thomas. This is all according to ESPN. During Saturday's game in Philly, have been banned from the Wells Fargo Center for a year, as 76ers spokesperson said on Sunday. Thomas was ejected from the 76ers 125-108 win in the fourth quarter after he went into the stands to verbally confront one of the fans during a timeout. Thomas said he was running back after making two of his free throws, and that a fan had both of his middle fingers up saying, "Fuck you, bitch," 3 times. Of course, he was white. I said, "Don't be disrespectful." No, just do that though. Like, let's be real. Like, we just sit back and enjoy. You know what I'm saying? We talk trash, but we ain't gonna be disrespectful.
Nah, man. The drunk fans be saying whatever. Yeah. Like, I heard Utah fans are the worst, bro.
They racist as hell, bro. Like, come on now. Anyways, I said, "Don't be disrespectful. I'm a man before anything. Be a fan." His response was, "I'm sorry. I just want a Frosty." So apparently, if they miss,
he said, "I just wanted a Frosty." He said, "My bad, bro. I just wanted a Frosty, man."
Yeah, so like for example, at the Wizards game, if they score X amount of points,
this is it right here.
Yeah, everyone gets like a free Chick-fil-A or free Papa John's or something like that. So I guess with them they get free Frosty.
Hey yo.
So he's like, "I'm sorry, I just want a Frosty."
Yo, imagine getting checked by like a 5'8" dude. Like, yo, say that again.
Right?
He's just looking up to you too. He's like, yo, say that again.
Say that again, bro. Say that again. But 76 spokesperson said the fans acknowledged using inappropriate gestures and language towards players last night, which is a violation of arena policy. So, do you think there needs to be like action being taken with fans, just wilding out? Obviously, fans will be fans. You're gonna get heckles, but I feel like you take it too far if you're kind of like questioning another man's manhood or just cursing at the individual. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think there should be arena policies in order. I don't know exactly how you should put them in place where it's just like, hey, enough's enough. Watch the way you talk to fans. Yeah. Or not fans, the way you talk to players, especially if you're close to the court. But I mean, there's only so many, policies and procedures you can put in place because at the same time, you still want fans to be fans at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, trash is going to be talked. That's part of the game.
Yeah.
That's never going to change. I think from the players' standpoint, they just got to learn, like, hey, a lot of these people going to say certain things, but you can't take it personally.
Yeah.
Half the stuff they're saying, they don't even mean themselves.
I agree.
So, I mean, it's kind of hard. I think the players, they just got to take more responsibility and just understand, like, hey, this is what it comes with. This is what my millions are coming with.
My millions.
My millions. But this is what my money's coming with. Like, it's going to come with the trash talking, the hate, along with the love, too. But you can't take everything so personal.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the pros outweigh the cons. So,
for sure.
Heckle me all you want. It may get to me every now and then, but I
got way more bread than you.
And I'm living great.
Exactly.
I'm doing what I love, and which you're not. Exactly. So next thing I want to move on to is the NBA. So from ESPN sources again, the NBA discussing a $1 million per player purse for the winners of the proposed 30-team in-season tournament league, sources told ESPN. The league is hopeful that an additional financial incentive will motivate players to treat a new tournament with a competitive fervor. So the NBA wants an in-season tournament that will begin with pool play as part of the regular season schedule before the teams with the best records advance to an 8-team single elimination tournament that will culminate in mid-December, league sources said. So what are your thoughts on in-season, in-season tournament as well too? I like it, but I dislike it. Like, obviously, the incentive is $1 million, but at the same time, it's like, why are you adding that on to already an 82-game NBA season? Obviously, money is a consideration. When you really think about it, I think if they had a vote, it would probably win because obviously, like, players are getting paid a lot too, but those are just like the max players and the high level role players. But other than that, like if you shave off all those, players out of 350 players in the NBA, a lot of them don't make that much money for real.
No, for sure.
So they may vote for it, but do you like that? And then like does it taint the NBA finals and the playoffs? Because that's what we're ultimately playing for, right?
Oh no, 100%. But I see where the league is going with this. They're trying to cater to like that international type. It gives me a soccer feel. Mm-hmm. When they're trying to put a tournament together like this. Like, but I agree with you at the same time. Like, it does take away from the playoffs itself because that's what the regular season is for. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to understand, even though the regular season is long, that's pool play in itself.
Yeah.
for the playoffs. So I mean, it just depends how they set up the tournament, how long it is, like. But I don't know how I feel about it yet. I guess I'd have to hear more details on it. Me personally, I wouldn't have proposed it. I'm with shortening the season. I like 60 instead of 80. To be honest,
especially that 1 year when I think Miami went to the finals that first year with Bron and Wade and Bosh. They only played
was that a
66
lockout year?
games. That was a lockout year. They played 66.
That year was hot, bro.
The year was fire.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's the perfect amount of games, but at the same time, like you're gonna lose out on a whole lot of revenue. So I feel like the league has to find a way to like capture our attention throughout the whole regular season.
But it's hard when you got the NFL that takes, a fourth of the or half of the
I
NBA
mean,
season.
sports are gonna overlap. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Basketball over baseball, football over basketball. Like sports are gonna overlap, but you just gotta find a way to make it entertaining throughout. But I mean, I'm not against the tournament per se, but I would have to hear more about it to be honest. Yeah, that's my take on that.
Okay, cool. All right, I agree with you as well too. So moving on, let's give our Christmas NBA Christmas predictions as well too. So it's gonna be 5 games. It's gonna be starting. It's gonna be on Christmas. Obviously, first game starts at 12. Last game starts at 10:30 as well too. So the first game is going to be the Celtics versus Raptors. Now, at first, I had the Raptors winning because, one, they're at home, and I think Pascal's on another level, and this is going to be their first time, I think, ever playing on Christmas as well, too. So the lights will be brighter, but, they're the defending champs, so you got to give credit where it's due. But Pascal Siakam has a groin injury. Norman Powell has a shoulder problem, and I think what's his name? Marcus Gasol has a lower leg injury as well too. So that's three important pieces to them right now.
Yikes.
Gordon Hayward just came back, so I have the Celtics winning. Although the Raptors will feed off of their home energy, home crowd or whatever, I just feel like the Celtics, due to their depth and the lack of depth with the Raptors, the Celtics will win. Who do you got?
Celtics for that game. Just you mentioning those injuries and it being the regular season, I don't think it'll be enough to withstand the firepower of the Celtics right now. They're playing good basketball.
Okay. Second game is going to be at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time on ABC. It's going to be the Bucks taking on the Philadelphia 76ers
Bucks
at home.
next.
I got the Bucks as well too. Giannis on another level. Ben Simmons. And you know what I'm mad about, maybe? It's like I've been holding this in the whole time. And I talk about this like every episode, damn near. The fact that Giannis Antetokounmpo is making at least an effort to shoot the tray ball to expand his game just makes me think like, yo, Ben Simmons, like, what's good with you, yo? Like, that joint be making me mad, bruh. You guys are basically built the same. Like, what are you doing?
They're not built the same. Just Giannis is way more of a horse. I mean, honestly, Ben's playing the wrong position. I've been saying that for the past 2 years. That first year, I kind of let it go, and then halfway through the second year, I was like, he's not a point guard. He can grab it off the rebound. He can push the ball. He can find his teammates. He can be a Draymond-type power forward for his team, but he's not a point guard.
Yeah. Like, I don't even care.
And that's what's going to stop them from getting to the finals because you're going to have you know what I'm saying?
Too.
You have your dude that's playing the one, but he's shrinking the court because he can only score inside the free throw line.
And one of my boys said, like, if they don't work out this year, you may consider, getting rid of one of them. He said
Ben for pieces.
He said because of Joel Embiid's durability, he'd rather go with Ben Simmons and then just try to get like a combo guard in and another piece to fill the big position because they already have Horford.
And that's another thing too. Like Joel is never healthy. I don't think he's really taking care of his body. You can just tell, like both of them just don't look serious.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what they do.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've been to the playoffs this last couple of years, so we'll see how that works out. I think the biggest thing that's going to help them is their experience and then their size. But I don't really trust Brett Brown with X's and O's down the stretch. We saw what happened last year against the Raptors and the year before that.
Yeah.
Against the who did they lose to the year before that? The Celtics.
Yeah,
it
was
the Celtics. So, we'll see. But like you said, I got the Greek freak.
I would have Miami going further than Philly.
I like Miami as well too. I was telling my boy about that. Miami's really tough. Obviously, like the only thing that's going to hurt them is their lack of experience. But They play beautiful basketball.
Kendrick Nunn's good, bro.
Kendrick Nunn's tough. Bam Adebayo's tough,
Bro,
too.
They have a good team, dog.
Yeah. I'm not even trading nobody for real. Unless
I'm not.
Get, like,
I'm just
a
trying to
Bradley
build
Beal or something like that, or like if you can get like a Joel Embiid, because Miami Heat will have them in check. They have like I think every week they have like a weigh in, and they have to have a certain amount of body fat every time they check in and whatnot. So they'll have them right. Like that, I would only like go for a big like a cat, like an Embiid. Other than that, like you're fine.
Yeah, Jimmy's holding it down. You might. Honestly, you would want to groom Kendrick Nunn anyway. I was gonna say find another one, but he's cheap and he's good.
He's good. Robinson's tough too. The white dude.
Tyler Hero coming off the bench. Nah, I like that team, bro.
And what's his name from Duke? Winslow has been injured this past couple games.
But
he's been playing great too. They got a squad.
Bro, like I said, if they're healthy, I feel like they could just go further than Philly.
People used to talk trash about Spo, but give Spo talent and see what he can do.
I low-key was wanting to talk trash about him too, just because he was new. Apologize to you, Spoelstra. You are a very good coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I thought it was just because you had Braun, but he showed when he lost talent that even just with a little talent, he can get the job done. He just needs a little bit of help.
For sure. Next game is going to be 5 o'clock. I won't be watching. Maybe you will. On ABC, Warriors, Rockets. No Steph Curry, no Klay Thompson. We don't know if Draymond's going to play. We don't know if D'Angelo Russell's going to play as well, too. I got the Rockets murdering them.
Oh, yeah. That's no question. I mean,
I'll probably watch just because and then turn it off.
Yeah, here's how my day's going. I'm watching, like, the first 2 games, and then that third one, like, I probably just ate already. I'll watch the first half of that, and then I'll catch the itis and just sleep during the second half.
Yeah, definitely take a nap and wake up for the main event, which I want to talk about is 8 o'clock, Clippers-Lakers.
Yep.
I have the Clippers winning. I'm kind of biased, but I just
Of course
feel
you
like,
are.
Of course I am. Kawhi Leonard, got the Clippers winning, man. It's a home game. I mean, it's a home game, but they're both in LA. Obviously, there's more Lakers fans than Clippers
home
fans.
At home.
But it's home at home. I just feel like Kawhi,
Battle of LA.
Yeah, Battle of LA. It's gonna be going down. Everyone's gonna be there. I just feel like the Clippers have more depth. The Clippers have a better coach, and as opposed to the Lakers going up against them with just Kawhi, now they have to worry about PG as a game plan. So I think that'll kind of take them off the edge. So I think they'll have that advantage right there. But it's gonna go down to the wire. And we're gonna see. I just feel like if you look at the stats side by side, Kawhi owns LeBron as far as W's go on matchups, individual matchups.
I'm gonna pick the Clippers, not just matchup for the starters, but once again, I think it's gonna come down to bench production. Without Kuzma really being in, it's gonna be hard for them to just win games consistently, be a top team in the West as of right now. But they're still playing pretty well without him. But I think they lose that game specifically just because of bench production.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to, in a way, kind of slow down LeBron. If you slow down LeBron, then you're pretty much good.
But I'll say this. When they're not turning over the ball, the Lakers, when they're not turning over the ball and they lock in defensively, they're probably the scariest team in the league because they're huge.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. Last game, 10:30, Pelicans Nuggets. Supposed to be so hype. You got the Jokic, Murray, that young talent going up against Zion and everybody else. We don't even know if Zion's going to play this whole year. I don't even think he should
they
play,
shut him down.
Just do what they did with Blake Griffin.
They said they shut him down.
Oh, they shut him down?
They shut him down.
Damn. I mean, I might, that's probably going to be the game where I might have, a TV show on my TV and then just have the game playing in the background and just see Brandon Ingram get buckets.
Basically.
But Nuggets are definitely winning that game. Come on.
Hey, yo, shout out to Brandon Ingram. I say Kuzma's better. He's proved me otherwise this year. Mm-hmm. He's balling out of control. Shout out to B.I.
So those are our predictions right there. And then one thing I want to, say or talk about before we end things is I made a little thing since it's, about to go into the new year, new decade. I have a few awards. So I'm going to name to you this player, that player for a specific award. Let me know who you're rocking with, all right?
All right.
Best shot of the decade, Ray Allen, Game 6 against the Spurs when he was on Miami, or Kawhi, Game 7, game winner in the playoffs, Game 7 versus 76ers. Why?
I wish you said Ray Allen versus Kyrie. I mean, I would have to pick Ray Allen just because of the magnitude of the shot.
And that's why I picked those games, the magnitude.
Yeah, the magnitude of the shot. I mean, that was in the finals. You got to understand. You remember, the Spurs had it locked in. They were bringing the champagne out and all that. They were pulling it out. They were bringing the championship T-shirts for the Spurs. The game was supposed to be wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
He really dug. He brought that game back to life, and he brought it out the mud. Like he saved Ray Allen single-handedly saved Bron's career.
And that's why I have it there too. I had the Kyrie one considered. I mean, you can definitely argue that one as well too. Honestly,
What would you say between Ray Allen and Kyrie shot?
and Kyrie's
Nah, between Ray Allen and Kyrie shot, which one?
the one
Best
I
shot of the
listed,
decade. Nah, not the one you listed, but I'm saying Ray Allen shot versus Kyrie shot.
Ray Allen, like you said, magnitude is going up against the San Antonio Spurs, and that was LeBron's legacy on the line as well too. Because at that point, he only had one ring. We were already tainting him
For
because he
Dallas.
didn't do
Oh
Dallas.
yeah.
So had to give it to him. Like you said, I thought it was over. This one was when Instagram was first a thing, and I had 10 followers, one like per post, and I was ready. I had the Spurs shirt on, the hat. I was about to gloat. Then I was just like.
I know you were sick.
I was sick, but it felt better though because we got our revenge a year later. So
Yeah, y'all did. Y'all smacked up on them.
Yeah, so I would have to give it to Ray Allen. But Kawhi junk was crazy as well too. Definitely up there. No one's ever seen a Game 7 game winner in the playoffs. So that was kind of
that was cold
too.
That was cold.
But I'm going with Ray Allen. After that, most impressive ring. Dirk going up against the big three formed in Miami, or Bron versus the Warriors.
That's hot. I like that. I like that one.
Where you going with? In under 30 seconds.
Okay.
That's a tough one, right?
I'll say this. Most impressive playoff run, I'll give it to Dirk.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy.
It was crazy.
He was Jesus with a basketball. Yo, he was not missing anything. He was 50, 40, 90. Like, most impressive playoff series, I'll give it to Dirk. Impressive finals, I'll give to Bron, because I've never seen a player ever to lead in every statistical category. I got to watch that. I'm going to be able to tell my kids about that. So
I was going to give it to Dirk because he went up against the big three. He didn't have any all-stars and whatnot. But like you said,
still a good team, though.
Yeah, living in the moment and going up against a 73-9 Warriors team when you weren't supposed to go, when you weren't supposed to win, being down 3-1.
Yeah, that was different.
That was OD.
That was different.
That was OD. That block, I'm never gonna forget that. Like you said, like when we have kids, we're gonna tell our kids.
Yeah, that was Super Saiyan Bron. That was Super Saiyan. No, honestly, that was the first time I actually started appreciating Bron. I used to really look down on Bron.
I started appreciating Bron was when Kyrie and Kevin Love went down the year before. And
that was the year, and he was going bananas, bro.
Yeah, that's when he earned my stamp. Like, yo, you're one of the greatest.
That's the one thing I'm always gonna say about Bron. Is like, yo, what if you gave your all the time? Like, dude, we know you're pacing yourself. Mm-hmm. We can tell when you're hooping. Like, what if you gave 110? Every year, what would that look like?
Yeah, that would be OD. Most memorable performance: Kobe's last game going out like a god was 60, or Klay Thompson's Game 6 versus OKC.
Most memorable, we got.
I had Kyrie up there too. Regular season against the Spurs, went for 57. But these were the two I wanted to, highlight.
Klay's Game 6 really stamped him as that clutch guy. You know what I'm saying? That gave him that winner stamp. Mm-hmm. But Kobe's last game, just come on, man. It's just Mamba.
Mamba mentality.
And he wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah.
The last game, he wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah, it was like an outer body experience. Like it was wild.
Yeah, we weren't watching basketball at some point in time. We weren't even watching basketball. Like, it was just a movie.
I knew exactly where I was, who I was with the whole time I was watching it too. So yeah, you're right. I'm going with Kobe as well. Mm-hmm. Best player of the decade: LeBron, Steph, or KD. All have. No, I think KD has 2 rings. Everybody else has 3 rings. Steph was, unanimous MVP. KD 2-time Finals MVP. Won the regular season MVP. LeBron, resume speaks for itself. Multiple Finals appearances, I think 8 or 9 straight. Won 3 championships. Won in 2 different organizations right now. And in year 17.
Would I be foul if I said Steph?
Yeah, you would. See, come on now.
No. The thing is, I can't really forget what Steph's really done for the game of basketball. You gotta understand, between 2010 and the new decade we're entering now, he changed basketball.
He did change the landscape of basketball.
Like the way kids play, and mind you, I coach personally myself. The way kids play, the way
shoot trays all day, huh? It's actually sick.
He really changed the way we play. Like, you gotta understand, there is no Trae Young if there's no Steph. You feel me?
That's facts.
A lot of these point guards, the way they shoot, even from range, Dame's not taking the kind of shots he's taking if it's not for Steph, bro. Kind of changed it.
So is that your vote?
I still got to pick LeBron. His body of work.
I knew you were gonna pick LeBron.
It's the body. It's the body of work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's done a lot. You know what I'm saying? KD, he's just. I wish he won finals without joining Golden State. This really changes the conversation.
Yeah.
but he's still, you know what I'm saying, top 2, top 3 most gifted players to ever touch a basketball.
For sure.
So I can see why you put him in consideration, but yeah, I got to pick LBJ.
Okay. Next thing, best team, the 12-13 Heat, who essentially won against the Spurs in 7 games, or the 17 Warriors with KD.
The Warriors, that was cheating, bro.
We can leave it at that.
Yeah.
I was going to put 73-9 in, but they didn't win. But with KD, that was just...
Like the Heat, I can see like the Heat at the time, it was overwhelming to the point where like, yo, this is cheating, but now that Warriors, that just took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, for sure. Last thing I want to mention is biggest disappointment. KD going to the Warriors, OKC losing a 3-1 lead, J.R. Smith game 1 finals, not being clutch when LeBron had, that was probably the best game I've ever seen him play, or the Toronto Raptors always coming up short.
You got on here, baby dinosaurs. Land before time. Nah, yo, you're a fool, bro.
I just want to throw shade.
Yeah, he said baby dinosaurs. What's wrong with you, dog?
I'm sick. Who you going with?
Biggest disappointment. That 3-1 thing did hurt. JR is an idiot, though. That one's still fresh in my mind. He's an idiot.
Who you going with?
Biggest disappointment still is just KD going to the Warriors.
No, bro. That's how mad I am. That's how mad I am. I had to drop my controller.
That's me personally. That's the biggest disappointment to me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it coincides with 3-1 lead because if they won that series, then he wouldn't go there as well too.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with KD. Taking his talents to the Bay Area and basically ruining the regular season. Still love KD, one of my most favorite players, but
second disappointment is just really letting LeBron call Toronto LeBronto.
Yeah, that was disrespectful.
Like, if I'm part of that team, I'm low-key ashamed of myself. But at the same time, Kawhi comes, you know what I'm saying, a year later and just makes things right.
Makes things right. Makes things right. Well, that was episode 67 of the Seezus Show. Manny, it's always a pleasure having you. Any last words you want to say?
Always a pleasure being on the show. I know I say it over and over again, but
yes,
I appreciate you. Yeah, man. That's really about it.
And what's your handle on social media?
Do I even use social media? Yeah, I do a lot. Still Fresh. STILLFRXSH. Still Fresh. And then Twitter's Black Zach Morris. Replace the A's with V's. That's me.
Yes.
That's where you can find me.
You heard it here. Still Fresh and Black Zach Morris. Make sure to subscribe to the Seezus Show on all platforms. We got YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud. I even looked on Google the other day. It's on the iHeart Radio, which is kind of weird as well too.
Oh, you popping?
Everywhere, man. Everywhere. Check it out. Got some merch. Probably going to release 50% off and come out with some new stuff for the new year. But at Sir Seezus, SIRSEEZUS, the Seezus Show. THESEEZUSSHOW, and we out.